So let's pick up where we left off, talking about credit cards and talking about the Schumer box. So, credit card issuers have to disclose all the terms of credit cards in the Schumer box. What is the Schumer box? It's going to look like this. At the top, it has interest rates and interest charges, and at the bottom, it has fees. So let's start from the top. The APR for purchases is the interest rate you pay for purchases. There might be multiple interest rates listed, and the final interest rate might depend on your credit worthiness, meaning your credit score, or your ability to pay back debt. Also in that part is possibly an introductory rate, which is the APR that's charged at the beginning, maybe 6 months, maybe 1 year. In this case, it says introductory for 1 year. There does not have to be an introductory rate for credit cards. How does your credit worthiness affect your APR? It will affect if you can, if they'll allow you to have this credit card, and it might give you a higher APR if you have a poor credit history. Fixed versus variable rate, what's the difference? A fixed rate APR cannot change during the period of time, and a variable rate APR may change depending on other factors. Which would you rather have? It depends on what the rate is, but in most cases a fixed rate would probably be better for you, because then you know that that rate will not change, where variable could end up going way up. It could go down, but probably more likely that it will go up. The next two rows are the APR for balance transfers and cash advances. Balance transfers are transferring debt from one credit card to another. So if you have multiple credit cards, you take the debt from one credit card, put it on another. And a cash advance is taking cash from an ATM with a credit card, not a debit card like we usually do. And fees may apply for these things even if there is an APR 0%. So you can see in this case both of them have a percent APR, but there can also be a fee listed in the fees section down here. So definitely want to avoid these things if possible. The penalty APR, when it applies, is the interest rate charged if the penalty terms are triggered. And what can trigger it? A late payment, going over your credit limit, making a payment that is returned, or doing any of the above on another account you have with them can trigger the APR, which you can see 28.99% is huge, a really high interest rate. So how can you avoid paying interest? It lists it right here in the Schumer box. Pay your bill in full by the due date, and you will not be charged interest. The minimum interest charge is listed there if there is one. Usually it's 50 cents to $2 a month. And then they even list here that you can go to the federalreserve.gov/credit card to learn more. So 3 resources on this site that could help you in the future when it comes to managing your credit cards would be that website that you can go to, and your Schumer box that you can look at, and all of the rest of your terms. So let's look at the fees now. Setup and maintenance fees. There's an annual fee, which is a yearly fee for having a credit card, a setup fee for opening the account, participation fee, which is a monthly fee for having the card, and additional card fee, which is a fee to have a second person on the account. So you might not have fees for any of these. It might be 0 for all of them when you go to look at your Schumer box for your credit card, but it could be higher. And why would you choose a card with an annual fee? Sometimes cards that have airline miles or other benefits have an annual fee, and so then you'll have to pay that each year, but you'll get those benefits from using your card. Transaction fees are like balance transfer fee and cash advance fee, what we talked about above. There could be other ones as well. And then there are penalty fees. In addition to the penalty APR, if there's a late payment fee, an over the limit fee, or a returned payment fee. And all of those are listed down here with their amounts in this sample card. How we calculate your balance is at the bottom. And credit card companies use different methods to calculate how much you owe and how much percent interest you'll have to pay. And then loss of introductory APR. If the card has an introductory rate, it will say down at the bottom how you can lose that introductory rate. So before we start credit card chaos, I am going to go into Google. I type student credit cards. I'm not going to go into any of the ads, but I'll click on right here, student credit card offers. You can click credit cards or anything that you want. These are credit cards that are listed right here for students. One thing to note, it says that these are designed for students, New federal laws impose restrictions on credit cards issued to individuals under 21 unless you have the independent ability to repay debt or has an adult co-signer who agrees to accept joint liability for the account. So until you're 21, a parent or someone may have to co-sign for you unless you can prove credit worthiness somehow. So here's a few different credit cards that you could look at, and they might say cash back or bonus points or things like that. I'm going to scroll up, and I'm going to click on this one right here, see rates and fees. And right here, this is the Schumer box, which we were just talking about. The APR is 0% intro APR, but then it will be 13.49 to 22.49 based on your credit worthiness. Here is balance transfer APR, cash advance APR, penalty APR, and then I scroll down more. There is no annual fee. Here's the fees section, but then transaction and penalty fees and how the will calculate your balance. So you will need to be able to find this. You'll have an assignment where you will have to compare credit card offers, and you will be able to find all this information if you find the Schumer box. Sometimes you may actually have to click on Apply Now to some of these. You will never have to actually put in your information, but if you click on Apply Now, it will transfer me to the secure application, and before I actually put any information in, I just need to find, like, see pricing and other important information. And it brings me down to here, which is not the Schumer box that I want. So if I can't find the Schumer box on this card, then I would go elsewhere. But I'll try Apply Now one more time. Here it wants me to put my information in. Here's my secure application. And here is the Schumer box right here underneath it before I put anything in. So interest rates and charges and fees.